Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this time, for allowing us to come together. Lord, I just ask that you would be amongst us tonight, that you would open our eyes so that we might see the truth. I just pray that you would let the message of your Son be made clear to us, Lord. The words that he spoke when he was here, the words that he spoke through his disciples and the prophets, Lord, that they might be powerful tonight, that we might receive them, that we might grow stronger in the spirit, and that we might get some kind of defense against these forces that we have to battle in this life, that we might overcome and get the victory. Please help us, Father, to uncover the hidden mysteries that we need to see in order to strengthen our faith to survive, Lord. And we thank you for all things. In the name of your Son, we bless you. Please, Father, be with us. Guess we can start off with any questions or anything. What y'all got? What y'all want to get into?
I don't know what I want to get into, but I just know, man, that spirits are just, crazy, man, and it's amongst family. I mean, everybody's just puffed up. I mean, I spent the weekend in Philly, and there was a couple things going on. One,
Say that again. Say that again.
Hold on. This church at 42nd and Wallace. This African pastor, I've been trying to get him off the pulpit, and it's just so much drama between family and people defending him. And I was at my in-law house this weekend. My nephew puffed up at me. This cop, which is my future, I guess, he's going to be in the family soon. He was drunk and pulling little girls' hair. I mean, it was just, spirits was just like, I never experienced nothing like that. It's bad and stuff that's going on Facebook. Adults are into teenager business, and teenagers are just popping up and saying, well, get off my page if you don't like it. It's just been a real awakening for just the last past 72 hours. It's just been crazy, man.
Well,
I just wanted to share that. It's almost like the scripture. You almost got to, like, dust your feet on certain things, man. It's just crazy.
You kind of do, and I'll say even more towards as we're coming towards the end, because there's some things that's happening in the earth that we really need to, be aware of and believe, because it seems unbelievable because they done put so many things on TV to desensitize us to what's about to go down. And they putting the very things out. I mean, you got all these series like The Event, Fringe. It's a whole lot of different series and movies that's dropping so much stuff, and they putting it right in your face, and then they making you think that it's like a fantasy or something. But it's all the things that's going down right before our eyes. Where that John that talks about the tax of the Shedim Managan, ain't that in Baruch, second Baruch?
Yeah, second Baruch.
And this
Were you reading out of?
This is the second Baruch. Like that first, right. That's in the Apocrypha, the 14 books I took out. This is one of the books that, they was like, nah, they don't need to see that right there.
Right.
See, when you go into these different books, though, it helps you put the puzzle together.
Right. How you spell it?
B-A-R-U-C-H. We're going to start from 26. You want to read that, Manigan?
And I answered and said, what? It says, will that tribulation which is to be continue a long time? And will that necessity embrace many years? And he answered and said unto me, into 12 parts is that time divided. and each one of them is reserved for that which is appointed for it. In the first part, there shall be the beginning of commotions, and in the second part, there shall be slayings of the great ones. And in the third part, the fall of many by death. And in the fourth part, the sending of the sword. And in the fifth part, famine and the withholding of rain. And in the sixth part, earthquakes and terrors. 1-2.
So check it out. We're going to deal with this eighth part tonight, based off of what Brother Kuhn was talking about. Because this is something that we really got to be aware of. Go ahead, man.
And in the eighth part, a multitude of specters and attacks of the Shedim.
Okay, so we want to get into that. We're going to get into some specters first. All right, this is a Wikipedia verse. All right, let me see. Spectre. Yeah, okay, well, you know what?
Is it a specter like a ghost? I got one question for you.
Go ahead.
These 12 parts, right? Now they don't all run. Are we still connected?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Are these 12 parts like one after the other or intermingled?
Well, it's going to tell you later that it's a starting point and it's a beginning point. I don't kind of want to get sidetracked going into it, but we can later because this is like a deep zone to try to go figure out like when all the parts started and stuff. I was just trying to make a quick reference to what Brother Kakun was talking about.
Okay, but I'm not saying, or we're not past a certain point. You just want to cover that one specific area tonight. Yeah,
but I'm saying this specific area is what we about to deal with or dealing with.
In the earth, we're about to deal with this now.
Or are dealing with it. Because, he was telling, like Brother Kakun was saying, he's noticing this activity amongst his family and amongst different people. And if you check it out, see, it's so crazy what they doing with what they doing with sound and cell phones. And see, all this stuff is based off of sounds and frequencies and channels. And there's so much stuff happening in the air. And these cats, they done figured out how to connect to people this way. And as the time goes on, these demons are going to have free access into anybody that is not protected, anybody that's not protected by the Spirit of the Most High, by the Spirit of Christ. That's like your spiritual firewall. If you're not walking in the Spirit, and if you don't know the Lord, you're going to be like you're going to be walking around like Windows 98, just open for any kind of attack. And something is going to be getting in people, and a switch going to go off, and it's just going to be like what's that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, The End of Days? With just everybody is just on one vibe, like Night of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Everybody's just all clicked in one accord of wickedness and evil and torture and death and horribleness. Like, one day it's going to be a nice day, and then all of a sudden the switch going to flip, and it's just going to be horrible till Christ come back. Now it says, specters, spiritually, new age, astrology, self-help, alternative belief systems, a ghost, phantom apparition. Now, that's crazy right there.
Wow.
See, another thing that I was checking out too is these people through psychiatry have been doing things to create multiple personality disorders, because this is another way that they've been preparing the population to receive for these demons to be able to take over these bodies. It says the second definition is a mental image of something unpleasant or menacing. So the first one is spirituality, new age, astrology, and self-help. Now, all that, when you look at Christianity and you look at the New Age movement, all that stuff is contained in there. Then it says alternative belief systems, and it lets you know that these belief systems are like a spirit or a phantom. Apparition, a ghostly figure, a specter, a sudden or unusual sight, the act of appearing, appearance. So now, so it says in the eighth part, the attack of the specters and the Shedim. How you spell that, Shedim?
Shedim.
It says Shedim. Shedim are demons or spirits. According to Jewish mysticism, some are reputed to have had legs of a cock. These beings are allegedly mentioned in Psalms 106:37, although biblical translations use the word demons. So that's deep. Let me get that. Psalms 106:37. It says, yea, they sacrifice their sons and their daughters unto demons. That's deep, man. In the Hebrew, that word is shedim. But this is deep, though, when it says, they serve their idols, which are a snare unto them. Yea, they sacrifice their sons and daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. Which also lets you know that when you participate in any sacrificial act towards an idol or idolatry, you're sacrificing the demons. So all of our people we know that are celebrating holidays, that's why you really can't participate in none of their function, because they don't know that they worshiping Satan. But it's actually a spirit behind everything that goes on with these pagan ceremonies and rituals. But anyway, it says the word devils is used, let me see something real quick. 17, they sacrifice unto devils, that Shedim. And I answered and said, will that tribulation, which is to continue a long time, and necessity embrace many years? 2 Baruch 24:1. Behold, the days come, and the book shall be opened, in which are written the sins of all those who have sinned, and again all the treasuries in which the righteousness of all those who have been righteous in creation is gathered. And that's deep right there, because he said it's going to be a book. It's going to be a day coming when the books is going to be open, and everybody that sinned is going to be in the book. And then it says, and the treasuries in which the righteous of all those who have been righteous in the creation is gathered. So it's going to be a place where the righteousness of the righteous are and the sins of the sinners. Now, we all were sinners. So at some point, you must not be labeled a sinner no more. All right, it says, for it shall come to pass at that time that thou shalt see, and the many that are with thee, the long suffering of the Most High, which has been throughout all generations, who has been long suffering towards all who are born, alike those who sin and those who are righteous. And I answered and said, behold, Lord, no one knows the numbers of the things which have passed, nor yet of the things which are to come. For I know indeed that which is befallen us, talking about his people. But what will happen to our enemies, I know not. And when thou wilt visit thy works.